This playlist is a unique Motorfest experience. It's called Made in Japan.
The Crew Motorfest takes a rather drastic step forward from Ubisoft's most recent open-world racing title, The Crew 2, while clearly and unapologetically drawing heavy inspiration from the Forza Horizon series. The Crew Motorfest is able to deliver a comparable experience to the Forza Horizon games, which have become the mammoth mainstay in the casual racing game genre. This is especially significant for PlayStation 4 and 5 owners, who have long been deprived of the Forza franchise, along with any open-world racing games even remotely approaching the level of polish and quality of Forza Horizon, and thus may never have been afforded the opportunity to experience a Horizon-style game. Up to this point, the competition for Horizon has been paltry and middling at best, but the Crew Motorfest sets out to change that, and easily takes pole position as the flagship open-world racer on PlayStation 5. However, this title puts in a commendable performance even when lined up against the likes of Forza Horizon 4 and 5 on all platforms, which is enough to at least place it securely in the winner's podium, just a step down from the champion it endeavors to emulate. Not to belabor the comparison, but if you have ever played a Forza Horizon game, then you have seen this song and dance before. Arrive at an exotic locale, which serves as the setting for a lively, buzzing festival centered around celebrating various cars from around the world and the thrills of driving and racing. In this case, your vacation destination is Oahu, Hawaii, which serves as a brilliant setting for all of your open road revelry. The fidelity on display here is fantastic. Lighting from the stifling but vibrant Hawaiian sun breaks across the roads before you, and the flora and local aesthetic are generally satisfying to the point that you may spend hours simply driving along the open road at top speed, taking it all in. The car models themselves are certainly nothing short of what players would want to see from a modern racing game. Whether stationary or at breakneck speed, vehicles have a pristine and authentic look to them, which departs from the mundane, plastic look that cars can all too often have in less polished racing games, with the Crew 2 arguably being included in that number. Here, exotic sports cars and hypercars, from the likes of Lamborghini, Ferrari, and Bugatti, are almost remarkably aesthetically pleasing to look at. Likewise, the game's performance, when set to performance mode on PlayStation 5, feels buttery smooth at 60 frames per second without seeming to sacrifice this enlivened aesthetic or visual quality. Car handling on a controller seems to have taken a massive step forward since the Crew 2, although we'd highly recommend that you adjust the sensitivity and dead zone settings to meet your preferences, or your mileage may vary, pun intended. The car feels weighty when taking turns at high speed, and considerably more planted as a result. Tire grip feels substantially more realistic, with the wonky, slidey physics of the Crew 2 appearing to be left in the dust. The terrain under the tires can be felt through the vibrations of the DualSense 5, whether cruising on smooth tarmac or bumbling over dirt and gravel. Ubisoft has really outdone themselves here, which may not be saying much given their previous racing titles, but the presentation and performance here are in no danger of falling below the standard one might expect of a $70 release on next-gen consoles, which is refreshing if not compulsory. Thankfully, there are over 300 cars here to purchase and drive. And that's not even counting motorbikes, boats, planes, and other vehicles. Notably, if you played the Crew 2, your vehicle collection from that game will transfer over seamlessly should you opt in for it to do so. The primary way that players will hit the tarmac is through curated playlists, which are a series of races themed on a specific style of car or racing. Notable highlights include a playlist tailored around tuner cars from Japanese manufacturers, with a pervasive aesthetic theme that echoes Japan's nightlife racing scene in Kyushu. Another highlight was a playlist featuring entirely electric cars, representing the bleeding edge, state-of-the-art advancements in racing technology, showcased with the environmentalism and efficiency embodied in the elegant, ergonomic design of the all-electric and futuristic-looking Lotus Evija. The setting and aesthetic of these playlists was surprisingly distinguished from simply driving around Oahu, with both taking place during the nighttime and sporting glowing neon signage and even a raging lightning storm, respectively. The departure is welcome and provides a stimulating variety, since even the vibrant, sunlit landscape of Hawaii could potentially get stale after hours and hours of gameplay without some kind of variance. Online multiplayer races are oddly relegated almost entirely to a triathlon-style race in which you drive 3 separate cars from your collection, in a race divided into 3 legs, with an off-road portion in the middle and the fastest hypercars racing to the finish line for the checkered flag. The decision to restrict multiplayer racing to this type of segmented 10-minute endurance race is questionable, and perhaps deserving of scrutiny. And yet, it somehow manages to work in spite of the motives for this design decision coming off somewhat obtuse. The result is a streamlined process for multiplayer racing with minimum downtime for players, as it's very easy to aggregate a large sum of players into a grand tour race when there aren't any other racing disciplines or game modes to choose from, and a single lobby can hold over 30 racers. The experience is more akin to something like Fortnite or Call of Duty Warzone than what some might expect out of a racing game, and seems to be aimed at getting as many players back into the driving action with as little hang-up as possible. The restriction on how you can race against others online isn't ideal at all, but the trade-off seems to at least yield some notably positive benefits. Much like Ford's pursuit of Ferrari in the 24 Hours of Le Mans throughout the 1960s, the Crew Motorfest attempts to compete with an absolute Goliath in the racing space, known for its unrivaled superiority and refined polish. In a slight departure from the outcome in that analogy, the Crew Motorfest does not unseat the reigning champion from its throne, but rather commendably delivers on a sufficiently comparable experience for players who may not have had the opportunity to play arguably the greatest racing franchise on the market in the last decade. The wait has been long for PlayStation players who arguably haven't had a casual racer worth its salt since Drive Club in 2014, and who have routinely seen accolades and laurels thrown toward Forza Horizon in droves. There may never have been a way to experience a quality, open-world casual racing sim set during a brimming festival in an exotically captivating part of the world on PlayStation before now, but Ubisoft has delivered. For PlayStation owners, who likewise enjoy games in the racing genre, this game is nothing short of a must-buy, whether at launch or on sale, because of the unique experience it provides, with a surprising level of fidelity and polish to boot. For those who have access to Forza Horizon series on other platforms, the Crew Motorfest is perhaps less of a necessity for their library, but still, it is a triumph for Ubisoft in its own right, and certainly a game worth playing for all those who more than dabble in the casual racing sim genre. Where settling for mediocrity has become somewhat of an emerging norm from big AAA developers, the Crew Motorfest strives for more than simply functioning as a cheap imitation, and manages to hit the apex without losing any speed. If you enjoyed this review, please like this video and consider subscribing to the channel for more reviews and game coverage content. If you are already among our subscribers at What's New Video Games, thank you so much for your support, as our subscription and view count really does play a large role in whether we can acquire review codes from publishers in order to review games early and publish a video for you all in a timely manner. Please keep an eye out for reviews of Eternites, an action-based JRPG crossed with dating sim elements, Fall of Porcupine, a cozy, wholesome game for this fall, and NHL 24, all coming soon to the channel. Make sure you've subscribed and have notifications on so that you don't miss those. As always, thanks for watching, and see you all in the next review.